Welcome everybody, Dom here, and today I'm introducing you to my new Pearl Export kit. It's in high voltage blue. I just took it out of the box, has no heads on it, and before I put my new heads on there, there's a couple things I like to do first. First, let me introduce you to this beautiful high voltage blue color. Beautiful. All right, you see this thing in the light? Really shines nice. So there's a couple things I like to do before I reinstall the heads. So what I found in the past, this is my third Pearl Export kit I've owned in my lifetime. And from what I found in the past is that a lot of these lugs, everything is kind of loose from the factory. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all the hardware off the drum. Then secondly, I'm going to wax the drum using some Chemical Guy spray wax. This stuff works awesome. Blazing Banana. Goes on nice and smooth, comes off easy, leaves a nice smooth finish. I use it on my cars, use it on a whole bunch of stuff. It's great. So check it out. Also, before I install the new lugs, I'm going to use Loctite 242 blue Loctite and snug them up nice. This way, they will never come loose, and my drum will stay in tune a lot longer. The next thing what I like to do is I will be using a Pearl DR5 13C drum rack. So I do not need the bass drum tom holder. To me, I think I see guys on YouTube with this on their bass drums and they're using a drum rack. It just looks ridiculous. Number one, besides it looking ridiculous, number two, it's letting a lot of air escape and you're losing a lot of resonance out of the drum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it and I'm going to install this Pearl BBC1 bass drum plate cover to remove the big obnoxious chrome piece on the front and also cover up the holes to increase my resonance. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some drum dial bearing edge conditioner. What this does is it's going to put a little coat of wax on the rim, and that's going to make it so when I seat my heads on there, it's going to make a nice tight fit and it's going to make a nice beautiful seat before I attach to the rim. This stuff's about 10 bucks. Get it right from Drum Dial's website, Sweetwater, any of them places. Then the next thing I'm going to do is, before I install my lugs, I'm going to use these Danmark nylon tension rod washers. What these do, obviously they're blue, so they match the drum. They come in all different colors, about 10 bucks a bag. I think there's 50 in here. So besides it looking cool, right, gives that little added color to it, and it also helps keep the tension on these lugs as well. So now with my lugs being Loctited and the rods having these washers on there, my drum should probably stay in tune forever, all right, until I decide to change the heads. So also these things they create a little barrier between the metal, right, because otherwise you have a metal washer sitting on top of a metal rim. It just makes a little cushion. I will be doing this on every single one of my toms. Have the rest of the toms behind me. I haven't attempted to install the heads on those yet, and we'll be changing all the heads on those to Evans as well. So for the front head, I'm going to be using an Evans black resonant, and for the batter head, I'm actually going to be using an Evans DB1 low volume head because I live in a private development and the houses are pretty close together. And I want to try to keep some of the noise down for the neighbors, especially if I decide to play at 10 o'clock at night. This way, I'll have no problems. Another thing, one last tidbit that I'm going to be swapping out, is that Pearl is actually nice enough to give us a little bass drum hoop protector for our bass drum pedal. However, it's not on the bottom and it's not on the front of it either. The other thing is that they install it off center of where the seam is on the drum. So why wouldn't they install that piece right on the beam? To me, that don't make sense. So I'm going to be replacing that with this Hoop Protect little rubber drum hoop This is from drumandbass.com, about 10 bucks or so. This thing is going to cover the top, the front, and also the bottom, and I'm going to reinstall it right on the seam. This way, when that goes on, when the drum goes to the floor, that seam I know is definitely on the bottom, and nobody's going to see it. Like, I don't know why Pearl couldn't have done that. Like, why didn't they just put this on the seam? To me, it don't make sense. Like, 2 extra seconds to think of something like that. Maybe on their higher end kits they do, but I don't know. So then that's it. So I will have a. Then I'll be tuning up all the heads with a drum dial as well. So then I will have a time lapse video of me actually doing all this. I'm not going to bore you to death for 2 hours while you watch me do that whole apparatus. Okay? So I appreciate if you would hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It is a new channel. I'm just going to be posting a bunch of hobby stuff. I mean, I got a lot of hobbies. Playing drums is one of them. I will feature some other stuff. So stay tuned. Appreciate everybody watching. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.